For people that don't know our niche, what type of companies do we recruit for?
I would say the benefit of Walrath recruiting comparatively to say other organizations that are out there that also, are in the industry is that we are a full service recruiting, staffing, and executive search firm on top of also providing HR solutions. And with that, I think that is what kind of separates us from the pack, and also the fact that first and foremost, I think there's something to say about being a woman-owned business. For some organizations, that really matters to them. I'm not saying for all organizations, but
Right.
for some, it does make a difference of why other women entrepreneurs come to there's all the time you're in meetings with other women entrepreneurs that are just starting their teams and they want to just have that help or that support or that person on the other side to be like, what was it like for you? I mean, I know you've helped other people get that WBE certification before.
Yes.
Like, that's huge.
Well, just sharing knowledge,
Yeah,
what I experienced and how to help them, right?
and that's what shows a true leader because some people don't share. They want to, that what's mine is mine.
Right.
And I don't want to impart that. But a true leader does share. They share their knowledge and their expertise. And I think when you keep that door open, there's a level of what you share and what you don't share. But I think the fact that you've done that, again, shows that we care about what we do and what we say. We stand by that, our values,
Our core values are integrity, honesty, and perseverance.
Grit.
Yeah, definitely grit. We got to have grit. Yeah, absolutely. The companies that, we don't really have a target. It's more of pretty much it's open target, who's hiring.
Right.
And so they could be large companies, mid-sized, small companies. As far as industries, we handle many industries because we have recruiters designated to specific industries. So whether it be a manufacturing, construction, accounting, finance, tech, sales, we're fortunate because we have a really good team. It's not as though we have a specific niche for the company.
We're in the business of people.
Yes, that's true.
We're all about finding the right fit, ranging, it could be entry-level positions, those that are coming right out of college, all the way up to executive search. And I think that is another differentiator for us is the fact that we specialize. We're probably well known for more of the executive search, contrary to, say, the staffing or just a direct placement or contract. But do you see, or do you think there's a different approach to working with executives?
Absolutely. When we do executive search, especially if I'm working with a candidate, I prefer to work with the candidate. How do I say this? I don't really prefer that the candidate's working with multiple recruiters on the executive search level because at that level, a lot of times we're going out and we're marketing the person to various companies. And if they're using multiple recruiters for executive search positions, C-level roles, it could get complicated. So I prefer personally to have a one-on-one relationship with the person so that I really get to know them and understand what they want. So then when we're marketing to clients, and full disclosure, we would talk about that. Like, what clients do you want to work for or companies you want to work for? What companies don't you want to work for? Because that's going to help us understand them a little bit more, and which is different for like an entry-level position. Obviously, typically we don't disclose who our clients are. It's just a different way that we go to market for them.
What would you say is more difficult, a entry-level, mid-level candidate, or an executive?
Good question. They're all difficult because it depends on the person.
That's true.
And it depends on the client, right?
Right.
So they all can be difficult. And from the perspective of the client, when we're doing executive search, most of the time it's confidential. So it can be a little bit, it's actually difficult at times because the candidate usually wants to know who the client is.
Right.
And a lot of times they don't want their resume shared, right?
Correct.
So we have to then coach the client along and saying, there are times we have to disclose who you are.
Right.
So that we get the buy-in by the candidate.
I think that's why succession planning is so important, because a lot of the times it's a succession plan of when a C-suite or an executive is exiting, of why a client's coming to us.
That's
You know,
true.
it's not like a CEO is just gonna like quit their job. It's usually that they're retiring or they're exiting onto something new.
And thanks for bringing that up, Chris, because we've seen that more in the past year or two where
Right.
there was no succession plan. And with people calling us and saying, oh, our CFO, our COO is retiring next month, which, we can't find I mean,
Right.
we can say we can't, but, to find that number one A player for
Absolutely.
that role, we've got to make sure we got enough time to,
Find the person.
find the right person. Not only that, but the person at that level typically has to give 4 weeks notice.
If not more.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Right.
So, yes, yes, you're right. We're seeing a lot of that.
Which I think is why for us figuring out how do we play to our strengths and how do we utilize kind of our journey together of what comes in the future of like our succession plan, me to you, as well as our team, and including them on a lot of these conversations is so important,
Yes, you're
because
right.
we all need to know where we all kind of sit on where the future of our business is going.
Right.
And I think our team is very aligned,
Yes.
and we're all very motivated and connected to what we've, connected on and created together.
True. And other companies, I think, should follow suit, right?
Yeah. I think that's why we're able to provide a lot of value, is because our team really cares about what we do. And when we work with our clients, they feel that energy from our team.
That's true.
Because we're there with them.
Yes.
We want to make sure that we're finding the right. We don't want a call saying that it didn't work out
Right.
from the client or the candidate.
Correct.
It does eat at us as recruiters when
Right.
we weren't able to provide them top value. So I think, again, it just kind of reestablishes that commitment that we have to our clients.
And candidates.
Correct.
Right.